So today we're going to be talking about volume. And you guys have done a great job of giving a bunch of words for volume. So let's look at that. We have at the very top there is liter, and we have all kinds of other measurements. We have cups and we have pints. And though there's one thing that I don't see on there that we're going to talk about today. So today we're going to be talking about a milliliter and liters also, because they're actually in science we use milliliters and liters, and we use the metric system a lot. So it's really good to get familiar with it. Um, mille. Let's go back to that definition of that word, mille. So mille, and in Spanish you have mil, which means 1,000. So that's a really good clue. That's a really good clue. So I'm going to give you an example. So we've been talking about the distance challenge and doing a 5K run and how long that would be and how much time and how fast it is. Well, one really important thing when you're doing all that running is water. Oh, you got to have some water. Go, oh, no water. Well, let's say I wanted to fill up water. I'm going to have water stations at different places along these race routes. If we're doing a 10K or an 18K, we want to have a lot of water stations. And I'm thinking, oh, mille, 1,000. That's a lot. So I want a lot of water because I really drink a lot of water. So I'm thinking, I want a milliliter. Let's go ahead and look at what a milliliter is. Ah, milliliter. What's, oh, 2 milliliters. 3, 4. Ooh, I think I put 4 in there. 4 milliliters. Oh my goodness. That is not going to be enough water. A milliliter means 1,000 milliliters will make a liter. So what is that? What is a liter? Well, let me show you. So this, and it's kind of hard to see, so I'm going to use this piece of paper to show it to you. Here we go. 1 liter. So that's what a liter is. All of that water. 1,000 of these. 1,000 of these. 1 milliliter. So let's go ahead and think about how much water that would be. So we'll use a ratio table because, I love ratio tables. So we have liters and milliliters. If I have 1 liter, we already talked about this. I have 1,000 milliliters. Okay? So then if I have 2 liters, I have 2,000 milliliters. 3 liters, 3,000 milliliters. What if I asked you a question? How many milliliters are there in 8? In 8 liters. Well, let's see. We know what 1 is, and we can times 8, and we have 8,000 milliliters, right? That seems good. Okay. What about if I have a question And I just happen to have this question right up here. Let's put kind of a box around it so you can see it a little better. Okay. If I had 6,000 milliliters and wanted to know how many liters that was, how could I use a ratio table to show the amount? How could I do that? Let's see, I'm going to use a ratio table. And I know that I'm going to have liters here and milliliters here. And the question is, if I had 6,000 milliliters, how many liters would I have? How many liters would I have? Well, I'm going to start with what I know. I know that one is equal to 1,000. So I'm going to put that down here. 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. See, how are we going to figure out what this is? Well, I'm thinking about what I did up here. And up here, when I wanted to know 8, I took 1 and I multiplied it by 8. Well, I can do that here. I can just go 1 times 6. So this is 1,000 times 6 is 6,000. So then I know that I can also do 1 times 6 is 6. That's one way I could do it. So another way you might think of it, some people might think of it this way, is if you had liters and milliliters, and you start with 6,000, and we know that 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. I'm going to just adjust that a little for you. Then 1 divided by 6, or 1, yeah, oh, I'm sorry, here we go. Ooh, got that wrong. 6,000 divided by 6 gives me 1,000. So, and also 6 divided by 6 equals 1. That's another way that I could think about it. We've been doing these measurements of liters and milliliters in a large liter measuring cup. Let's look at another measuring cup. This one is much smaller. And if I needed to fill up my big measuring cup that fills a liter with this smaller one, how many of these measuring cups would I need to fill this one? Well, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to read it and I'm going to look at it and I'm going to go, oh, well, this smaller one is 250 milliliters. Okay, so let's, again, use a ratio table. So 250 milliliters. So this is my measuring cup. And it's a small measuring cup, but it's good. And I need it to fill up that larger one. But you know what? I need to know how many milliliters are in each one of these cups. So I have that one small measuring cup that has 250 milliliters in it, and that number of milliliters, too many T's, number of milliliters is 250, and I'm trying to fill up this liter one, this big one. How many cups do I need for that? Well, I'm going to just start with something easy. I'm going to start with 2. I'm going to say 2 times, and I need 2 times 250, so that gets me 500. So now I have 500 milliliters. Well, look, if I'm going to fill up this big cup, I need more. I need more. I need twice as much as that. So I need 2 times more. So 2 times would be 4 of these smaller cups, and that would be, let's see, 500 times 2. Oh, look at that. It's 1,000. It's 1,000. 1,000 milliliters, and now I've filled up my big measuring cup. Yay. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working on today. All these runners, they're all running, and they all drink different amounts of water. And you are going to be figuring out how much each runner drank while they were on their race. So I hope you have fun doing that.